show all about clankers and clanking and doing things that are fun. And this is going to be a quick episode, a little bit quicker one. We just had an episode. One, I want to check in with you boys and see how'd you think of what'd you think of the first episode? You think it went well? And are you excited? The show's getting into Clanker Summer.
I thought it was great. I was like, was this my best performance on a podcast? And I listened to it back and I just kept saying the filler words. So I gotta step up and remove the.
That was good, man. I think it's nice to just chill with the homies and talk about things or whatever. There's really cool ideas that come out of it, and it kind of is a great way to like not realign, I don't know, recalibrate and stuff like that, and just kind of think about like what we have going on and like in a way, it's kind of like what Jack was saying. Like it's almost like a test, if that makes sense. Like you do the thing, and then later you kind of listen to it, look back, and you're like, oh wow, yeah, I didn't even talk about this or this thing, or I did talk too much about this, or whatever. So I appreciate the platform.
Hey, I mean, I think that there are so many things we could talk about every week. There's so many projects we could highlight. There's so many things we could do. A big goal for me, though, is for people to just want to listen to us talk. It does, I think personality sells, and I like talking with you guys. Just having these conversations is fun pre-show, and I think some of them can be slipped in either, on the back end or not. But we do have a lot of things to highlight this week. Now, you fellas did do a bass stream that apparently went really well. How was that, guys?
I'm glad it went well because I didn't forget about it, but I thought I would be home. But I took it from the car, and
nice.
There was like thousands of listeners, and I was just like seatbelt on, passenger seat. My girlfriend was driving, and I was on with Dan and Jesse. Over. Yeah, I was like, yo, we gotta pull over. Like we kept going into like dead spots, and they were asking me questions, and I was trying to focus. But I'm glad it went well. People said it went well, and I was super, super grateful that, I just went through it.
I kind of heard you were like the talk of the town. I heard people kept going back to you with questions, and you were getting hounded a little bit, which is cool. I mean, you're like I don't know, you're young Jamie, young gravy. I don't know. You got the sauce right now, dog.
Oh man, I appreciate it. If the sauce comes with drip, I will say, I think it's definitely like a part where I didn't expect it to be like having this sort of like it's not even a persona, I'm just myself, but like I got like this, just like having, I don't know, the good. I hear the good and I hear the bad, and we're trying to just like, do things right. Where it's like, promoting interfaces, and it's like, I think that the CT, anons are always kind of yapping at the ankles here, but I think that like as long as we're spreading the gospel of the clank, in a transparent way, I feel like, there's always going to be the riffraff coming in, but I appreciate the riffraff, and it's just my first time kind of not having haters. I wouldn't say they're haters, but they're motivators.
Whoa, dude. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better than the bad boy of Farcaster himself, Handsome Jack.
They're making like AI songs about Handsome Jack. I'm not even handsome yet. I got a tux, dude. I got a bachelor party next weekend. So I'm gonna be off Thursday, Friday. You might not hear from me. But,
this isn't even my final form.
Yeah. Wait.
I gotta get a flow job. I gotta get back in the gym, man. It's Clanker Summer, man. I'm putting the boat in this weekend.
Dog, You're not getting back in the gym.
That's awesome. I actually now. I went to the gym. I went to the gym for the first time in 37 years today.
Let's go.
What?
37?
No, I don't know. But yeah, I went to the gym for the first time in a long while.
Don't let Moon get ripped. That'll just be dangerous right there.
Dude, that'll
I'm
be
already
dangerous.
scared of
If I shift to attack form, I don't think.
Posting some thirst traps.
Bro,
Thirst
he
traps on
already
the
posting thirst
tide
trap.
pod. Yeah. Yeah, Moon is hot boy. Honestly, that's handsome Moon.
Yeah, handsome. Man.
There's a lot of honestly, dude. There's a lot of handsome people on Farcaster actually.
Talent dense.
Kind of annoying.
For sure, I know. Like my girl's on here.
I thought I was gonna come here and like, I don't know, jock people, and then I realized like, oh no, smart people are way hotter and cooler than me. So,
dude, starting with Dan himself, man. Not to glaze too much, but Moon, you had a good quote, guys, when he was testing out Jack your setup that he recommended. And yeah, it's just like
he can't keep getting away with this.
Dude, I've been going back and forth with him, and I'm gonna tell you, it's intimidating. I've been like, so now we're not only like, because he's sending me videos back and forth, and like trying to work with somebody on a camera setup I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
to me,
exactly.
but it's really difficult when you're not able to be in the room, especially when you're talking about like how to frame the shot, how to get that perfect, like that look, where lights. So like I got him going when it just came to like, here are the right settings you need to be on. Here's everything else. But now it's like, there's all this stuff that you kind of got to just play around with or be there to do. And then I'm a yapper. So my ass is just like, oh, and then you could do this and like, la, la, la. I'm sure he's like, this guy's so annoying and I cannot wait to be done with this. But I don't know. It's been an interesting experience, but it's been cool to kind of get to know him a little bit better on that end. And I do think he's actually genuinely excited about getting a good rig, like about like wanting to, he really wants to like look as professional as possible. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, man. I think, I feel like that feels good to you, someone who's like also like a nerd about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
About AV stuff. I think, that the other thing too, I think you mentioned like that he's probably like, oh my god, this guy's talking so much or something like that.
Yeah.
You know I mean, as a yapper myself, I get in my head all the time about stuff like that, and it's really just I don't know, like some people have like I guess said like they'll say it if they actually feel that way or whatever. If they don't, it's really just kind of in your head. You're just like, oh man, I'm just like talking this guy's ear off, and you're like, oh my god, it's Dan or whatever. But at the same time, like, it's obvious. I mean, obviously, the guy's like a killer, right? He's amazing, but he's also a person. He's also just like a really normal dude. Like I remember my first FarCon, I just went up to him and shook his hand. He was like a normal guy, you know, like obviously working on like really cool shit that I use. Yeah. But like, it's not like, you know, you touch him and then you're blessed or something like that, or whatever, you know, it's not,
that we know of.
It's also interesting too, though, because like to us, like people like Dan or Jesse, they're like, or like Vitalik, like Vitalik's like the fucking like Dalai Lama, right? Like, but of our space, of our circles or whatever. And I guess maybe a random person might recognize like Vitalik, maybe not. Maybe he's just like a regular normal person in my town to most people. But and the same goes for like the other dudes or whatever. So it's just like funny to think about like the circles you run in and like just what is it, echo chambers type of things.
I feel like it's like they're not like Brad Pitt level. They're like A-listers of like, you know, crypto, but like on the broader scheme of like society, they're like maybe C-listers, which is cool. Like I think that's big. But yeah, I mean like I don't know. And then the Farcaster bubble, I don't know. We're probably like D-listers. I don't know.
Yeah, but within our own echo chamber, boy, there's some big ones. I'm telling you right now, Jack, Moon, you guys are those people. Like you guys are kind of, I mean, to be honest, like people are like, you're celebrities in the podcaster world.
We're not big KOLs though. Like that's the thing. We've got like, compared to like a lot of the other people on Farcaster, we're pretty like, you know, sub 10K followers. And like, it's not about like the following count, of course, but like, I still feel like we're like, the rookies, right? Like this is our class of 25,
Yeah.
2025. And so,
What kind of sucks though is like I feel like the day I only am worried about like follower count though is the day that I've lost who I am. But I know it's good, obviously, especially for me. I'm making content. I need to have people who want to see it. But there's something about like I think I'm really impressed by the quality of people following me right now on Farcaster, especially that I'm like, dude, I feel blessed for that. Like there's a lot of people who I respect their opinion. I think these are people who are making great pieces of content, like written pieces of content, and doing cool things, and they're following me. Yeah, I don't have like 10K or 100K like Toady, but I don't know if it's like I think that's okay. I can still do what I'm doing.
Dude, it's so two things. One, the network of Farcaster is super cool. That's what got me to stay and kind of continue. Just because like there's so many cool people building cool things, and like not even in crypto, just like kind of like just tech adjacent sort of thing or whatever. Like I remember talking about Neopets on the timeline once, and one of the guys who was like one of their engineers like working on Neopets like back in like the early 2000s is on here, and I'm like, bro, what? When are we gonna get Neopets 2? Like, come on, please. And he stopped talking. But
question: who's your OG on Farcaster that you like are like your god? I'll start because like this is kind of my example. Like, grew up skateboarding. Having
Dave.
Bob Burnquist on Farcaster is so sick. Like that's my dream follow right there.
Oh, Bobby boy, I think he follows me.
What? Damn.
Bob Burnquist, he's like the first mission in Tony Hawk's Underground, like or whatever.
Pro Skater 4.
Yeah, dude.
It's funny because he's like kind of like the nerd guy in it, like the glasses.
But I mean, it kind of checks out. He's on Farcaster. Right?
Yeah, it definitely plays. Bob, if you're listening, I love you, man.
Hell yeah.
Bob, follow Jack. Jack. Jack Gishman. The dish.
Mine is less or more cool, depending on who you are, who you think, what do you think. Mine's Brian Johnson.
Whoa.
The vampire?
Yes, dude. I think he is hilarious. And I think he's like so going like so hard on his front that like he's like flying to like Guatemala and injecting himself with like stuff that like affects your RNA and like like bruh, he's like out here like doing it like like normally like back in like the the conspiracies of like the 70s or the 80s they're like, oh no, we're gonna test this on like random people and whatever. No, he's like, I'm the lab rat, me. I'm gonna inject.
Did you do plastic surgery? Because he
I
looks young.
I don't know. I do know. I mean, I wouldn't like. Here's the thing. That's like a big thing that people do like in general or whatever. Just in American beauty culture.
No
or whatever.
shade. Yeah.
No, for sure. Like, so I wouldn't be surprised to hear that or whatever. But at the same time, the dude eats like fucking 15 pounds of collagen a day. And like, I don't know if that's actually, but like, he's really taking care of himself. So.
But beyond, I mean, what is?
I don't know. I don't like to speculate on that kind of thing. But I do know that he is a very interesting, enigmatic person.
I respect him being the lab rat, but I don't want to live that long. Give me like 85 good years, and then we're like planning the bonus. One like 100 plus, like damn, that's something.
Yeah. Also, the quality of life. I mean, I'm sorry. Like his routine is, it's not. It's like I'm sure his life is awesome, like to him, but I don't want to have to wake up like have 800 different pills in the morning, and then like sleep in a hyperbolic chamber and like everything is timed out and specific. But the thing is like he's so determined and dedicated that like this is like, which I respect that. I agree with you. I respect anybody's passion for just doing the damn thing. I don't care what it is. If you're passionate about it, bro, you're cool in my book. It's like people with passion are the coolest people.
Exactly. And like that, and like I think that also just something to think about, like the timeline and stuff like that, and something you had said about followers and stuff earlier. Like there's a sense of selfishness, I think that can be very positive for you and your ability to help other people and stuff like that. And I kind of get that from Brian's like vibe. He's like, yo, like I'm gonna do the best possible thing for me. out of that, like just track it all and stuff like that, and like give that like to other people. I think is like it's a really interesting like just maybe belief that I have or whatever, that like you can do the most for others if you once you figure your stuff out. That's when you're in like a way to like help other people or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe that's
I respect the hustle.
Yeah.
But but to your point too, Jack, like I mean, he has like 4 hours a day that he's like not doing a thing. Like maybe if that.
I don't even know if he has that.
Yeah,
like,
actually, yeah, that might be overstated. He's got like 15 minutes of playtime a day. And
he can like not travel even. He like does like it's really wild. He's like so strict about it.
Which is like, fuck, dude, it's sick, dude. He's like a monk. Like
that's
like
exactly that is what he is. He's like a super rich ass monk.
Yeah, rich ass like tech monk.
Yeah. Tech monks, dude. They're coming for us all.
Yo, yeah. I mean, that's also been like an interesting shift in like tech culture, like just like in general that I've seen. And maybe just like in kids and stuff like that, maybe not even tech, but like I see a lot of people getting like sober. And like not because they have a problem, but like because of health and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, I mean, I could drink a beer and not destroy my life, but I choose not to because of health reasons. Which
3
I think
months.
is like, hey man, congrats.
Let's go.
Oh, Jack, hell yeah.
I'm surprised you made it through FarCon too.
I made it all through FarCon, which was tough, real tough, but I did. And yeah, I'm about to do a little family vacay to the beach, and make some stuff content out there as well. And I think I'm just going to keep it going. Usually 3 months is about where I end it. But I think I'm just going to keep it going for a while. See, it sucks.
Summer, baby.
I love drinking. I love it.
That's awesome, though. I mean, that's it's harder for some people than others. Depends on you. But no, like your genetics and like all that kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah. I'm addicted to everything.
Yeah, exactly. Some people are better users than others. But yeah, it's definitely something like I've noticed. Like definitely a lot of folks going for just the sober, the tech and sober crowd. There's a big overlap. And now I don't know if it's like a maybe a Farcaster like assisted sort of thing, right? Like the Christian rap vibe. But maybe it is a little bit in part because I definitely remember going to like in ETH Denver. There was a ETH Bushwick party, and all those people were drinking.
That was wild.
No person was drinking soda water and bitters.
Yeah.
At that party, and everyone was like ripping cigarettes.
Was a good party.
That was a good party. But it was
ripping
interesting.
cigs. They just had like packs of cigs outside, and yeah, I don't know though. I feel like it's like the tech bro and then like the crypto vape cabal. Like those are kind of like the two spectrums. And I don't know where do we fit?
Where does Clanker fall? Yeah, where does Clanker fall?
I don't know.
I think you're all encompassing. I think both crowds can enjoy you. Give me some Clanker news.
Yeah, we've got it's cool. I think that the pre-coin stuff was interesting because it got sniped, right? I think there's some people that have been reaching out trying to like do like a basically like basically they're selling NFTs, and then the total fund is going to go into a token launch. I don't know if that's coming. I think it's supposed to be coming today.
Is that pizza?
Pizza, yeah, pizza's cooking that. Pizza's been in the Clanker trenches throughout this entire
big time
cycle. So pizza's he's a shipper, and I'm excited to see what he does with this. There's also some really cool. I won't say the name of the projects yet, but they're reaching out. And these are we're looking forward to these. We're kind of like giving them kind of like some config insights into like how to deploy to reach a certain market cap on launch. And a lot of these kind of like basically like they're like crowdfunding prior to the launch, which is kind of a unique concept that it's like we had pre-sales before, kind of similar to that. Yeah. So it's just kind of cool seeing how people are using this new tech here. What else?
You said pre-sales are coming back though, right?
Pre-sales are coming back. Yeah, we got that in the audit
how
there.
Launch, right?
Opsis launch pre-sale. Yeah. I think. What else we got, Moon?
Sure. There's been a couple interesting products. So we'll start with the new. I believe I want to say his name is Daniel from AOX.
Yeah.
So he hit me up not too long ago and just told me that he was building Moon XBT. So, I mean, as Moon Poppy, I kind of I enjoy it. But basically, he's created like an anime waifu, like VTuber type of deal. And honestly, really not like I think it's like QR with like another dimension. And like basically you're gonna be able to, I think, talk to or basically pay for content from the agent. And where his stuff's actually pretty interesting is he's made a mini app so far to sign everybody up. So follow Moon XBT on Instagram, Twitter, Farcaster, and TikTok. So whenever it does post a thing, you're gonna be seeing that, and it's gonna be kind of like it's like a mix between like QR and like Cameo or something like that, if that makes sense. Like, hey, check out like the new Must Clank episode or something like that or whatever. But again, it's like voice, like content, so it might come up in your reels or something like that, which I think is super duper interesting. A couple, besides that, I would say the pizza thing is definitely pretty neat. We definitely just have a lot of people in our DMs that are like, okay, we saw the noise thing, we want that, but for us. Yeah. Which is understandable, right?
Make good content too.
Exactly. That's like the biggest thing. Like it's easy. It's easy to do. It's not easy to do the nice thing or whatever. Yeah, no. That doesn't just happen. Most projects just kind of fall on their face or anything like that. For maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe it wasn't a good product. Who knows? There's a million factors that like kind of go into that. So blessed, grateful for that team. They seem to be happy and doing well. I think QR is... I can't stop talking about that project, dude. It's so simple. And it's so good. It's so good that non-clankers are paying for ad space there.
Yeah.
Which to me is just like, oh, shit. It's not just clankers helping clankers. It's this guy's just got a fucking sick product. Like he's tagging Pasternak to try to like talk about. He's like, hey, buy some ad space on QR, like please, like whatever. I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure QR Coin, the mini app, bribed like 60% of the network. It's probably got signers on probably 60% of the network right now on Farcaster that will like, cast, and retweet its content when it gets posted or whatever. So, like, to me, that's just like...
Duke was on the Twitter Spaces yesterday, and he was just saying, like, how he thought it was, like, just maybe going to die out. Like, what was there? Like, there was like 50 days that went by, not much traction, but then it really just took off. And that to me is just like, that's just persistence paying off right there.
Yep.
And, he had an idea, he shipped it, he kept with it, and now he's seeing well-deserved traction. And yeah, it's just like study Jake. And I think we'll see a lot of those, I think a lot of other projects will kind of hopefully take that as like a sign of, motivation.
You mentioned a product. We briefly mentioned it last week, but the Obsidian Cipher. Now, full disclosure, I have some, but not knowing that you would talk about it. But I actually got it because you shared it on the timeline, and so I saw it and I was like, "This is cool." I want to see what happens when somebody solves it. Like I want somebody to solve it because I think that is the exciting part. They haven't really done a lot of marketing, but the way that the product itself feels and looks, I think, is really incredible. Also, we didn't talk about it last week. Tell me about the Minecraft, the Clanker Minecraft.
Yeah, so basically they hooked up this new based Minecraft V2 where you can like hook up a token to a Minecraft server and have it be like its in-game currency. Minecraft is how I got into coding, sixth grade, jamming with the homies after school, being like, hey man, let's take a break from COD and play some craft. And, that to me hits home. But it's cool to see kind of like that in-game currency be on base. But yeah, that's a cool cook. And you know what? I also appreciate that it's not just clankers being deployed, right? You can also, do it with other tokens. So love that.
Could you deploy a token in the server?
No, you gotta like hook it up because you have to like download an extension to your server. But then you can like go buy, materials through with your token balance. But yeah, that's a cool cook where it's like kind of the gaming, which gaming is just like such a like Fortnite and all these games where like these kids just have their parents' credit cards and like are just spending cash on skins. And
yeah, I mean, I think that's one piece that I haven't quite seen like hit yet. Like I know a lot of people talk about Web3 gaming and like things like that or whatever, but a lot of stuff from gaming has like those were like the original like NFTs or cryptocurrencies, like quite literally. Like CS:GO skins, if I'm not mistaken, are going absolutely bananas again.
Yep.
That was like my first like NFT or whatever, or like certain items in like Diablo 2, or crazy stuff, man. Like Eve Online. Eve Online was like a huge game, and I think there was like they were like taking some payload that like so with Eve Online it was like a spacefaring game, and you could spend like like your monthly subscription, you could trade that for like in-game currency and back and vice versa. So it basically gave like a monetary layer to like the game. And I think there was I think the biggest raid or whatever, it was like a $2.5 million like cargo ship like going, and like people attacked it and took it out
like cowboys,
and yes,
on a train,
like pirates, like like space cowboys, pirate. They took it down, and it was the biggest loss in gaming history.
That's a real looter shooter right there.
Yeah. And that's why I like seeing stuff like the based Minecraft, things like that or whatever, because they're definitely trying to like marry like the two things, like right, like any game that has a shop, there's no reason that couldn't be cryptocurrency. But then I think the other like the bigger question I think that that Vitalik, for example, asks all the time is it like, does it have to be? Like that's the part I think that we haven't quite solved yet. Like, yes, you could do it, but again, like, what thing is explicitly unlocked in the experience by crypto?
Gaming doesn't have to be on chain, and I think if we force it down everybody's throat, then they're going to rebel. But there are some instances and use cases where it's just better that way. It just makes sense. It's an easy thing. It's a thing they're already doing, and they don't understand that they don't actually own any of the things that they might be getting. I've told this story a billion times. So I understood NFTs instantly because I played Magic the Gathering online. There's a real economy, so it's not like the newer ones where you buy cards, there's no way to get rid of them. There's literally multiple stores online you can go to. Anybody can sell and buy, and you can do it at almost instant speed. I mean, you can sell your whole collection to somebody and they'll buy it like this. Tickets are like worth $1. So it really clicked to me because many times I would put like a few $100 into Magic the Gathering online, and if I needed money later that month, I could sell it and at least get 70% out of what I just put in. It's like almost like this nice little, I get to play for a little bit of. So it clicked, and that would be even better if it was, I mean, instead of having this own weird economy, if they just use the blockchain, it would be even better. But things like that just make sense. But some games, I do think, Moon, to your point, you don't have to you don't need to come up with a reason to put it on chain. You don't need to you're like, how do we include this thing that we could, but if it makes sense, you should use it. Use the tool.
No, I think my thing is, it's just, again, like the real sauce is why is this experience uniquely enabled by crypto? I think a lot more people just need to ask themselves that question, because it's going to be first off, I mean, ask yourself, design for yourself or whatever, but like other people are going to be asking that or whatever. Like, again, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like you'll probably get like a lot of people's like, oh, I like crypto and I like World of Warcraft, so you'll probably get a couple of users that way. But I think if you're going for new users, if you're genuinely trying to grow your pie, again, you need to be figuring out what that unique experience that is unlocked by crypto. So for example, I think one of the cooler crypto games, I didn't get to play this too much, but I've read about it, and I've had some friends that have played it, but it was called the Dark Forest. It was an interesting crypto game that used ZK tech in it. Crypto the Game, I think, is a pretty interesting one. To me, I see it as a little bit more as like a social, fun, like show sort of thing. But there are a couple things in there that are enabled specifically by crypto. Maybe outside of gaming even. Something that we saw this week with the ProCoin launch. Congrats to Mike. That was a sick launch. I think it dominated the timeline. It's currently dominating the timeline at the moment. But basically, he created I'm assuming this is the case, but it's a V4 hook that didn't allow the coin itself to be traded until the claim function had been called 500 times. That was probably one of the first times that I've seen, and again, this isn't gaming, but that's one of the first times that I've seen someone use Uniswap v4 in a way that I'm like, okay, this experience is uniquely enabled by Uniswap v4 hooks. Mm-hmm. You can't do this outside, like, otherwise. So to me, like, I'm just like, all right, you have plenty of people that have integrated a thing like V4 just to say that they have, but they didn't necessarily do anything special with it. They're still doing the same old thing. And don't get me wrong, like, it's not like bad or whatever. It's just, I think that's like a big that's like a missed opportunity, because it's just like, dude, like, don't get me wrong, like the V4 stuff, like, even I still think V3 is like 10 years ahead of its time. Like, people are still just now getting around and figuring out LPing. DGen as an experience, that was the first time a lot of people LP'd for the first time. So there's definitely a lot of people that have never used a DeFi product or anything like that, all the way to people who are, again, writing V4 hooks and whatever. So there's a big spectrum. I think V4 is just a very it's heady product. There's a lot going on. It's very powerful what you can do with it. And I think we're just now starting to see people, again, figuring out those unique things that are enabled by the tech. Yeah. And that's the answer. Honestly, dude, I think that's just the answer to everything. It's like, why am I using this thing? Make cool experiences for people.
That's the type of hook that we can pull into the V4 extensions too. and have anyone use that type of config to deploy with. Guys, I got to drop. I got to go talk to Carter about some tech stuff. But Jack, thanks for having me on.
Hey, say goodbye to the folks. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Peace, guys.
Peace. Until next time. Talk to you.
Thank you for your time, friends.